Warning. The following podcast was recorded by two idiots. It contains vulgar language, vulgar ideas, and poop jokes. If any of this offends you, blow it out your ass.
Son of a bitch bastard!
Let's start this again, shall we? Jesus Christ.
You're fucking retarded.
Hey, Pickle Licker, want to play the right intro?
One more time!
Are you ready?
All right, welcome to another episode of Let Us Cast. I'm Andrew. With me, as always, Bruce.
Hey, how's it going, sir?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, how you been feeling, man?
I'm doing all right. Been kind of, I don't know, up and down, strikes and gutters, but for the most part, I'm doing all right. How about you, man?
Mostly gutters, but occasionally a couple strikes.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I've actually been feeling a little bit happier than I have been normally recently, at least.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Anything in particular going on, or just
yeah, I mean,
general change of...
well, yeah, I mean, there's some cool stuff going on. Don't think I'm ready to talk about it just yet because I kind of want to see where it's going. But yeah, whether like something good comes from it or something bad comes from it, I'll definitely tell it on this podcast when when I have a better idea where the direction's going.
But things are looking up, and that's really what's important.
At least that one aspect, yes.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Life's a piece of shit when you think of it. Buddy, you have no idea.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So we last week we were teasing about another top five music albums of all time.
Did we do a top 5 last week? I don't know if
We did. We did top 5 horror movies and regular movies.
Oh, all right.
Just
Okay.
like movies that we just love
was
and
last
horror
week or the
movies.
one before.
Yeah. Which I was kind of kicking myself after the podcast. I was like, fuck! Fucking Ip Man should have gone on the fucking list, man. God damn it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
that's a good flick, man.
Son of a bitch. So I just wanted to take a moment to say, if you guys haven't seen the Ip Man movies, there's 4 of them. The ones with Donnie Yen, go see them now. They're fucking awesome.
I think I've only seen 1, but yeah, I might have seen 2 also, but
two is awesome.
Really good.
3 is awesome. It has a fight between the character Ip Man and a character that's played by Mike Tyson. So,
oh shit!
if that's not a selling point, I don't know what the fuck is.
It's basically the story of the guy who trained Bruce Lee. So
yeah,
that doesn't sell you. I don't know what will.
Yeah, and I'm sure they take some liberties with it. Obviously, like it's fucking, you got to make it interesting, I guess. But
probably no more than Tarantino did for his flick Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, or fucking Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, his alternate universes.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, it's for like a movie. It's not even a trilogy because there's 4 movies in it. But like as a series, it's fucking awesome, and I love it.
Nice. Yeah, I like it too, man. From what I've seen of it, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, and like that's like another thing. Like my brother and I were discussing that. Like, can you really think of like a movie like series, like a trilogy or whatever, just a series of movies where like every one of them has been at least pretty damn good?
Not really, no. Especially because the more there are, the worse they tend to become. Because usually what happens is like other people get involved and, it loses its original whatever it is.
True. I mean, there was only like a couple that I could think of. Like so far, like, yeah, obviously Ip Man, because I've been fucking praising its fucking glory for this long. Also, the John Wick trilogy is really, really fucking good. I dig that.
I've never seen those, actually.
They're really good.
I've heard they're good, but I've never seen them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you the synopsis for the first one. Let's see. So Keanu Reeves goes on a killing spree because somebody killed his dog. That's kind of the short version of it. But is it one of those movies that's like it's going to make you think, or it's going to be like, no, it's entertaining, it's action packed, it's really good.
It's just a good popcorn movie.
It's a good popcorn movie, not in the sense of like a popcorn flick, in the sense of like Transformers where it sucks balls, but like John Wick is actually really really entertaining, and if anybody hasn't seen that, fucking go see it.
Right on.
I can't really add Kingsman to that list just because there's been like 2 movies there, so you got to give him like at least another movie or 2.
Yeah, yeah, and Liz and I weren't really a big fan of the second one. We tried to get into it, but just couldn't get behind it for some reason. I don't think we ever tried again, but we really should.
You should.
And there's a third one?
Well, there's a prequel coming out, and then they're gonna do a third one based on the Eggsy character.
Oh, right on.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Prequels can be a little, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you know what, man, I'd be interested to see how it turns out.
Yeah, yeah. It sparks my curiosity, if nothing else.
Yeah, like I mean, fucking Terminator can't get added onto that list because goddamn, man, they dropped the ball with Terminator 3.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, that had potential, but it really didn't pan out.
I mean, Star Wars was on the list.
Yeah, they had a couple stinkers though, for sure.
A couple.
Yeah. I would say anything like aside from the original trilogy, it's really kind of touch and go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Some are really good, and some are like, oh god. And I haven't even seen like the most recent ones that have come out. So.
The most recent one that I saw was not Rise of Skywalker. It was the one before that.
Is it like Rogue One or Solo or whatever?
I didn't see Rogue One. I didn't see Solo because I had no fucking interest. That's why, look, guys, I have the original trilogy here. It's still here. I can enjoy that. Do I have any interest to see these other ones? No.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how Han Solo got his fucking start. It goes back to that Patton Oswalt joke. Like, hey, here's a big bag of rock salt.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is really just that, like, we're so bereft of new ideas that we have to just keep putting out more of the same stuff that we've already done. That's why we keep, like, rebooting and remaking and, like, doing spin-off stuff. It's like there's no new ideas.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things, too, where it's just, like, I don't care how Han Solo got his start. Like, he was introduced to us like a fucking badass in the first movie, like, that he appeared in. I don't need to see his backstory. I don't need to see Darth Vader's origin story. I don't need to see anybody's origin story. Like, it's a little bit different. Like, if you're making, like, a superhero, like, movie and whatnot, and it's, like, brand new, like, Deadpool, for example. Like, yeah, you got to do the origin story because people may not be familiar with the Deadpool character. Sure, I gotcha. When they made the first Superman movie, yes, you got to go with the origin. So, I gotcha.
Yeah. But these are just like regular people. It's not like they're any kind of like special thing necessarily. So you don't really need to set up the backstory. You just need to say how they're involved in the main plot.
Yeah.
Like where do they factor in? It's not like we don't even get Luke's backstory really. I mean, we do, but it's not like we know like what happened to him from birth to it. He sort of gets the Jesus treatment, man. He gets like, we don't know what happened to him when he was born, but then we know what happened to him when he was, like what, in his teens or 20s or something like that on his uncle's farm. And from that point, like that's really where we meet Luke. We don't know shit about him before that point. For the most part, everything we know is like what we hear from other people. But they didn't feel the need to do a backstory on him. And he's like the main character. So like, I don't get it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you were to add like an origin story to him, like even if it's like 20 minutes, like that's 20 minutes that I could just drag the movie on, and it's like, all right, we get it. Okay, he's a kid, he got over there, instead of like just quick conversation, like, hey, this is what happened. Just like the way that I liked that when it was done was Spider-Man: Homecoming, where like shit had already happened. Like Peter Parker was already Spider-Man for maybe a year at that point or something like that. And his Red Ned finds out, and he's like, how did this happen? Oh, I got bit by a spider. Is the spider alive? Do you do this? Do you do that? Like, I thought that was pretty cool. It was a good way to kind of go about it, because it's like, okay, we know Spider-Man.
Yeah, they're not, like, glossing over it, but at the same time, they're not, like, really hammering it in.
Yeah, and I mean, the omission of Uncle Ben so far, I was like, all right, you know what, man? I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, yes and no, because he's just so central to the philosophy of the character. That's what makes it a little shitty for me. But apart from that, like, he doesn't need to be there. I mean, it's sort of that whole, like, we've seen this story before where, like Superman, his parents are killed. Batman, his parents are killed. Fucking a lot of superheroes, that's in their backstory, that their parents or their loved ones of some variety were killed. And that's part of what fuels them to be a soldier for justice or whatever the fuck. So, but it's like But yeah, I feel like a lot of those like offshoot movies, like Solo or Rogue One or whatever, like you're saying, it can be boiled down to the kind of conversation that they do in Homecoming, like, oh, what happened? Oh, this happened. Oh, and how that? But like you said, like some curious party being like, oh fuck, like I'm just learning about this now. Tell me, like that kind of thing, and then move on, get back to the story.
Well, I mean, Rogue One. I mean, you can kind of at least make a case for it as just like, okay, they kind of glossed over it in I forget which movie it was, um, but I mean, there's a story there. It's like, well, okay, how do they infiltrate the Death Star? How do they do this? How do they do that? You know, what happens here? So I
Yeah,
mean, that
getting the
one you can at
plans,
least
I
make
guess.
that one you can at least make an argument for. Like Solo, who gives a shit?
Yeah, honestly, that's a good point because that is kind of central because without those plans, they can't destroy the Death Star. They basically they don't have any plans for retaliation.
Yeah,
So yeah, that you're right. That's a good point. That's not like, and I mean, I guess you could argue, well, yeah, but without fucking Spider-Man getting bit by a spider, you don't have Spider-Man, and that's true. But at the same time, like we've seen that a bunch, and most people will kind of know, or at least have some familiarity with it. That for the most part, you could probably just be like, little conversation off to the side and move on.
yeah. But yeah,
But I don't
it's
care what Han Solo looked like as a baby. That's
no,
for sure.
no, and it's like I just I don't care about any of that. And like, I mean, even
Oh, you
nowadays,
like
like
Boba Fett?
no, it's like,
You want
well,
to do
I mean,
these like as a
they're gonna do
baby?
like a Boba Fett, I think it's like series or movie or something like that on Disney Plus or something like that. And
Mm.
it's like, well, okay, I don't give a shit.
We just want like a baby everything, like fucking baby Yoda, baby Boba Fett, fucking baby Anakin, fucking what the hell?
Fucking baby Sonic.
Seriously, why?
Uh,
I mean,
dude, one word answer: toys.
yeah, yeah, true,
Shit, it goes
true.
back to Spaceballs. Is merchandising, merchandising.
Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Exactly. It wouldn't surprise me if one day they have like the Mandalorian flamethrower. Like, hey, if Elon Musk can make his own fucking flamethrower, so can we. We're fucking Disney. We've got more money than he does. You know, it's like fuck. We bought out Marvel and Star Wars, and we
We pretty
own
much
like
own the planet now.
yeah, like Disney owns the fucking world.
Fucking Disney, man. I mean,
Huh.
they're responsible for a lot of the things that I enjoyed in my childhood, but man, they've gotten a little too big for their britches. That mouse needs to go,
I mean,
man.
they're not responsible for a lot of the things I enjoyed during my childhood because like my childhood like joys were pretty much just like pro wrestling, Transformers, and Ninja Turtles. They had nothing
Yeah,
to do with any of that. So,
that's true. See, I
um,
still enjoyed like Aladdin and shit when I was younger, and like some of their, like Sword in the Stone was good shit.
yeah, see,
Jungle Book.
like I never got into those, man. It was like that, like
Yeah, I dug 'em.
when my dad showed me the first Superman movie, like that was it, man. Like this is where I was like, fuck, this is awesome. 'Cause it had me curious, man. Because it's like, okay, you make a cartoon, you can do anything you fucking want. It's live action. This guy's like flying on the screen. Like, how the fuck are they doing that? Like, how are they doing this? How are they doing that?
That's true, but the thing that I appreciate about the whole like Disney or any animation really is the amount of time, especially back then, like when they first started, how much time and effort went into that shit is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because like especially in the old days, man, when they had to, fucking draw every frame by hand, like that's nutty.
Oh
I
yeah.
cannot even imagine that. Like there is something to be said for that.
And like I think the other thing that it made me appreciate though was as far as like Disney shit was just like voice actors.
Yeah.
Like there's a clip of like they're doing behind the scenes like the voice recordings for I think it was the Lion King, and there's Frank Welker like with a fucking trash can like recording like lion roars,
Oh
and
yeah, you
I'm
told
just
me
like
about that.
I'm just like holy shit, this dude's fucking badass. Like they didn't use like live recordings of lions or anything like that. It's just some dude with a trash can in a fucking recording booth.
Yeah, it takes a lot of ingenuity to pull that kind of shit off. To be like, how can I replicate this noise, with basically just my voice and, whatever I've got around me. Like
Yeah,
that's some talent, man.
like that. Like I love that creative aspect of it too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I can do a lion roar, but I need to put in a little something. Oh, metal trash can, perfect. Something like that. Like, holy
And wouldn't
shit,
you
like
know?
that's fucking dope, dude.
Yeah. To quote Jim Cornette, wouldn't you know who won the pony?
Ugh.
God damn.
God damn.
Rolling in a trash can. This is gonna hit over my